Hallo zusammen. Welcome to the second episode of Rammstein Google Questions answered by a German, and we're gonna look at more questions asked about the band and the band members, why they do certain things, why they are a certain way, and yeah, and more. Do Rammstein ever sing in English? Yes, for instance, the phenomenal Depeche Mode cover Stripped is in English because the original song is in English. Even though Till actually said that in the making of the music video and, talking about that and how that came to be, how that came about, he wasn't able to sing the original chorus, "Let me see you stripped down to the bone," like a complete phrase in a certain, singing manner. That is why they actually stuck with "Let me see you stripped" without "down to the bone." And of course Pussy, which, the lyrics are really cool and funny, but musically it's not my favorite song by them, gotta be honest. It's a Denglisch song, basically. In German, the term Denglisch means a mixture of Deutsch and English, hence Denglisch, German and English. Of course, me being a German, I love their German songs, but I also like when they do sort of fan service, if that makes sense, when they actually perform a song in Spanish, Te quiero puta, for instance. Do Rammstein hate each other? Just think about the band, how long they've been active, and just think about the fact that they actually didn't change a single band member. I think that speaks for itself. I truly believe that you can only be so successful and so invested in your art when you really enjoy playing in a band and playing with those people. And we also have to keep in mind a band is more than just musicians. It's pretty much a bond between friends, or even, some musicians actually say a band is really like a family. Do Rammstein hate America? I guess that is pretty much based on the song Amerika. They criticize a certain cultural attitude, an Americanization of the world, and imperialism. It's been the case with Germany as well. I mean, we're drinking Coca-Cola and we're using other American products. We're using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All those companies are American, and that is not meant in a negative way. It's just stating the obvious. I think in that song they primarily highlight those cultural changes and, influences that are there. They surely don't hate America, otherwise they wouldn't perform there. I mean, just think about that. So if I had to give a clear answer to this question, I would definitely say no. But that doesn't mean that they aren't criticizing things or highlighting certain aspects and certain influences. Are Rammstein concerts safe? I haven't been to a Rammstein concert yet, so I can't say for sure. It's one of the, big musical dreams that I still have, to see Rammstein live at some point. Couldn't manage to get tickets yet, so maybe at some point. But from what I've heard, their concerts are pretty safe and they really take care of that. Also because, Till is a pyrotechnician. He actually got his pyrotechnical license back in the late 90s, I think, 97, 98, around that time when the band really blew up. So it's not just the concert management and the event managers, but also the band themselves that really make sure that everyone's safe. Are Rammstein fascists? No. But that's the thing, they play with those Teutonic, sort of Third Reich-like cliches here and there, and also of course the harsh singing style might remind you of that, but they aren't. Are Rammstein Nazis? Not at all. And also keep in mind their manager Emanuel Fialik, he is black, and are Rammstein popular in Germany? Yes, they are, but to a lesser extent compared to other countries and parts of the world, which might sound ironic, and to some degree it is, but it's the same with the Scorpions, for instance. There are many Germans that really dislike popular German bands, musicians that are really popular internationally. I don't know why that is for sure. I think there are many reasons for that phenomenon. There are definitely Germans that really hate Rammstein and other successful German artists in the world. And I think that's stupid. Are Rammstein still together? Yes, they are. And if I'm not mistaken, they are still in the studio recording their new album, which might be out later this year, maybe, or maybe next year. I can't wait. What do Rammstein sing about? There are many different recurring topics in Rammstein songs, including, of course, the obvious things, love, but also quite the opposite. Mostly their lyrics don't have a particular single influence, I don't think, but there are songs that are influenced by real life events. For instance, Mein Teil or Wiener Blut. In those cases, it would be Crimes as an influence, you know. There are many different things. They also have very fairy tale-like songs and lyrics, Rosenrot, for instance, or Du riechst so gut. And that also is not just highlighted in the topics, but also in the stylistic choices of words, outdated old German terms, to really stress that fairy tale-like atmosphere. They also sing about religion in a mostly critical sense. Zeig dich, for instance. Sometimes they even have more or less political songs. Links 2, 3, 4. Songs can even be hilarious, sexual, something like Pussy. That is, yeah. Steck Bratwurst in dein Sauerkraut. Sticking bratwurst in your sauerkraut. You know, you get it, I think. What do Rammstein songs mean and what do Rammstein lyrics mean? Well, just watch my videos and you'll get your answers there. This might be one of my favorites. What would Rammstein do? What would Rammstein do? What they want. Ever since their formation, they have done what they wanted to do, and they didn't think about whether they could do something or whether it's socially okay to do something or not. They just do it for the art. So that is what they would do.
What they want.
When will Rammstein release a new album? Hopefully sooner than later. I really don't want to have a 10-year break in between albums again. I mean, there was that best of thing made in Germany. My guess would be 2022. And hopefully when they can tour again, and when they will have new concerts scheduled in Germany, I might finally be able to see them live. What is Rammstein in English? So a very short and basic answer would be ram stone. Pretty much a stone like a pillar in order to secure and protect buildings from cars driving into them. That to me is what a Rammstein is all about. I think that's pretty much a literal answer to that question, but there's much more to that, of course. I've made a video about that, by the way, just saying. Alright guys, I hope you also enjoyed the second part of this answering questions about Rammstein kind of video. If you haven't watched the first one, you can find it here in the end card, and also make sure to check out my other Rammstein related videos. I'm sure you're gonna like them as well. Thanks for watching everyone, I'm your Vlog Dave, tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.